All right. We got Ladie One. So Ladie One, how long have you been painting graffiti?
I've been painting graffiti.
Okay.
I've been painting graffiti for 16, 17 years, something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 17 years, yeah.
Wow. How'd you even get the name like Ladie One?
So, when I first started writing, I started writing in Miami in 2002, I believe.
Okay.
And at the time, there wasn't a lot of females like really bombing and like writing and stuff. So one of my friends who got me into graffiti, he writes chores. He's the one that basically gave me my name. He was like, "Oh, you should write Lady. Like you should let like people know you're a girl and stuff like that."
Mm-hmm.
So the name Lady kind of just sticked. And then the one is like it's like a graffiti kind of like accent, you know, like we put it after. Like we put numbers after our name and stuff, so it just rang a bell. Like
Yeah.
it just really sounded good, and yeah, I just stuck with it. So.
I would hear the one a lot, like Zodak One, Take One. I always would hear like when I hear graffiti, I would always get to hear the one at the end of it. So it makes sense though, you know.
Yeah.
So when you first got into like breaking though, like where did you first see breaking at?
So I grew up in Miami, and I grew up.
Which part of Miami? Because you know, like there's different cities within Miami. There's Liberty
Yeah.
City. There's Miami,
Yeah,
Florida.
So I grew up more like in Carroll City.
Okay.
That's where my first crew was from. My first breaking crew, IMC, and we would always go to Catalyst every Saturday. It's like a hip hop community in Miami that like represents all the elements. And yeah, so I grew up going to Catalyst like first off as a writer, and then I was just a writer. I was going there for about like 2 years, and then I would see breaking, and like I always wanted to like try it. And then one of my high school childhood friends, she was like taking dance class, and she's like, "Oh, like I learned how to break dance in class." And I was like, "What?" So then like she taught me my first 6-step, and it was so easy to me. Like I don't know. It was like the second I did it, I got super intrigued, and I wanted to just keep, you know, like exploring it. And so I just, you know, for like the last 17 years went back and forth just consistently like in breaking and in graffiti. So it was always like a balance for me. Like I always did both at the same time, which hasn't always been the easiest. You know, sometimes you gotta like nurture one element more than the other. But yeah, it just stuck with me.
Oh, that's cool. You know what? I'm gonna actually show this video to like Mendez Baser. Like he's a good friend of mine's, and when I first met Baser, he was writing Baser too. You know, and I feel like Mendez though. Like to me, he's like he's a legend. Like from Miami. You know, because he was like the first dude that kind of introduced me to like you know like the b-boy culture of like Miami, and I just wanted to know like do you know who Baser is? No, Mendez?
Yeah. I know who he is. I never met him, but I know I know.
Okay. Is it somebody that you just kind of just heard like word of mouth?
Yeah, just heard like word of mouth.
Yeah.
We never met.
Oh, you never met him before? Okay. So how do you feel about the B-girl scene today though? You know, I know it's like it's kind of a tough question because you've been breaking for like 16, 17 years. So I was just wondering, like, what's your take on the B-girl scene today compared to like back in the days when you first started?
I feel like the B-girl scene has tremendously evolved compared to like the numbers of the B-girls. Like when I started, it was like only a handful. And now there's like a lot more that are active and are like breaking barriers and creating new platforms like for B-girls like to be in Red Bull and to be in like the Olympics and just stuff like that. And I think it's amazing. Honestly, I think it's a beautiful thing to see how the culture has evolved. So it's like really awesome to witness something like that. I mean, the scene is different, you know. It's always going to be different with the circumstances that where we're at, you know, as a culture. And if I could say how it's different, I mean, I would just say like a lot of I feel like the elements and the aspect of hip hop and its roots and the culture isn't really felt anymore for me. Like, that's kind of why I don't really go to jams that much, because it doesn't move me. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, really?
no, hell no.
Okay.
Like, it's very rare for me to like go to a jam and feel its presence and feel the presence of hip hop there. I feel like a lot of people don't understand what hip hop really is, and so for me, I'm not drawn to anything that's not real hip hop. Like my blood doesn't flow, it doesn't thrive off that. You know, like I'm not really into like the big stage stuff. Like it doesn't move me because hip hop is a feeling. So like I can show you what hip hop feels like. You know what I mean? And if I don't feel that presence, like in your dance, then like it doesn't move me. And that's something that I don't really see nowadays, is that people are doing the dances, like, you know, they're doing the moves and stuff. Oh shit, that's my little homie. But I don't feel like they really have dug deep into the culture.
Okay.
And so for me, that's something that's very important, because that's what b-boying is, you know what I mean? That's what graffiti is. So like, if you don't understand that aspect of it, then like to me, like you can't be a b-boy. You can't be a b-boy.
That makes sense.
You don't represent like
all the elements. Yeah, the roots of it.
The roots of like what it truly is in its truest form. Then like, you know, like what is it to be a b-boy? What is it to be a b-girl? Like it's deeper than just looking like one.
Yeah. Like
if you don't embrace and indulge into the culture and the roots of it, like then you're just it's like being empty. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
So for me, I feel like the scene nowadays has a lot to learn, but I do see some people who get it, which is cool, and those are more the ones I kind of connect with. But I mean, as far as like opportunities and stuff, I think that there's a lot more opportunities, and I think that it's a beautiful thing. Like I think it's great of where it's headed, but I also think that it's important for people like me and people who grew up when the scene was really like thriving with hip hop still rooted into the jams. Like I think it's important for us to like continue to share and pass down like the importance of that. So.
I think that makes a lot of sense though. Getting that from a woman's perspective, because I feel the same way too. I feel like when I think of hip hop, I feel like the roots is kind of like stripping out of it, and it's more based on competitions.
Right.
And like really nobody's checking for like the culture, meaning like learning like who, because B-girls have their own culture too as well as the B-boys, but I feel like a lot of the girls, like they don't know their own roots though, and I'm thinking.
Yeah, but at the same time, B-girls have their culture, but you see that's the difference too. I never saw it like that.
Okay.
Growing up in Miami, like we never separated the two. I never separated myself from the B-boy.
True.
Like it's breaking to me. Like,
yeah.
It shouldn't be like I'm gonna be honest. I can't stand when B-girls separate themselves. I can't stand when B-girls have their own competition. I hate B-girl battles. Like I rarely have ever entered them because I feel like it prohibits me as a breaker to show you what breaking really is. You know what I mean? Like if a B-girl could hold her own in a one-on-one period, like versus a B-boy or whatnot, you're showing me like, yo, you really know what breaking is then. Because when we separate ourselves, we're dividing the culture, and like it shouldn't be like that. When I grew up, it was never like that. So for me, that's an idea that's very like it's very weird to me.
Okay.
So yeah, I just never did that.
Yeah. So when you were coming up, like who were you inspired by? Were you inspired by people from the West Coast when you were living in Miami?
Honestly, I never really saw much West Coast breaking growing up in Miami. I was surrounded